Today we have a boy from USA carrying Indian pride inside, having played for clubs like Southampton and Getafe. Presenting you, Mr. Veer Joshi. Said you wanted to represent the Indian side, so like if
Regarding the OCI, the sportsman passport, if they decide to allow it, I think that'll open the doors a lot to OCI players who Indian fans have so much passion. That is something that we've never lacked. One thing that would be great would be more infrastructure. It is a bit difficult. Ask some very unique questions that I haven't been asked before.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Desi Dribblers, where football is fun and analytical. Today we have a boy from USA carrying Indian pride inside, having played for clubs like Southampton and Getafe. His journey began from Sacramento to Samaleswari. When you have him in your team, you don't have to worry. The man whose aura is like your drip from Gucci. Presenting you, Mr. Veer Joshi. Veer, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak with you guys. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good as well. It's a pleasurable moment to have you in our podcast and in our channel. And yeah, since we've talked about your journey from Sacramento Republic FC to Samaleshwari, could you give us a brief of how your journey was? How did you begin, and how did you fall in love with football, and how did you pursue it?
I started playing football when I was 4 years old, where I was mostly brought up in Sacramento, and I just had started. My parents had just registered me, like they do with young kids in different sports. I had started out with soccer, and I there was something about it that I just really enjoyed, and I showed some signs of talent, and so I would play against older players, and then the program was like it was called Kids Love Soccer, just a local program, and they said that you guys should try putting him into a youth club, and then from there I joined a local team where about 15-20 minutes from my house called Plaza United, and from I played there when I was 6 to 10, and then when I was 10 I joined my first professional academy, which was Czech Republic, and then from there I spent a couple of years in Europe, like you had mentioned, in England and Spain, and then I had returned to America in my teen years, towards the end of high school, and after this past season, I got the opportunity by some of this where who were playing in the Run Cup for the first time, and they were looking for a striker, and they were willing to take the opportunity to get me, and then yeah, that's how it's been going so far.
That's great. That's great, to be honest. And you said that Samdeshwari called you to join their side. Could you tell us how was the conversation with the coach who approached you, and what talks were going in exactly before you joined here?
So I had gotten a call from one of the staff members talking about how the coach is interested in signing me and how seen my highlight video. And from the first conversation we had, it was pretty set in stone that they wanted to sign me for Duran Cup as a foreigner, and so from there I was like, okay, I gotta speak with my family. I got the call at like 1:32 a.m. U.S. time, and so I just woken up and I saw my WhatsApp is from an India number, and so I took it, and me and my brother-in-law were in the room, and we were getting very excited because it was all very new and all happened like in all of a sudden, and then the next morning I spoke with my parents, my sister, and then we kind of basically decided that okay, like yeah, this would be my first time playing in Indian football, and it would just be a great platform. I know for young players, Duran Cup is a great platform and the organization. And I didn't realize how big of a tournament it really was until I came and I experienced it for myself. And so my conversations were very direct that we want you to play in Duran Cup. And the conversation with the coach was pretty short. He basically just confirmed that, and we were speaking about when's the earliest that I could come and join the camp.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned about playing for the Duran Cup and how beautiful that experience was. Could you let us know your experience on playing on the other parts of the world? Like how different was it from from playing in US, then England and Spain, and then in India? So what's how's football changing from latitudes and longitudes?
I would say the football's pretty in all different places. The play style, the tactics are all different. In India, it is, I would say, much more transitional. It is very end to end. Even other ISL games that I watch, other Duran Cup games, they're all very end to end. Pretty entertaining for a neutral, I would say. Just back and forth. In America, the game is very physical. Players are extremely athletic. They're tall, they're fast, they're strong, they're built. It's a very, I would say, very athletic and physical game. And in Spain, they're a bit very tactical. They are very precise about how they want you to move and how they want you to play. They're very tactical, and the coaches kind of tell you, okay, we want you to do exactly this, and then you go on the field and you do that. And then in England, it's they give you a guideline, but you can do a lot within that guideline, and you have a lot more freedom.
And when we talked about Indian football, of course, Indian football cannot be mentioned without the name of the Mecca of Indian football. Playing in Kolkata, playing in Salt Lake Stadium against Kolkata Giants like Mohammed, and then scoring that stunner of a free kick. How was that entire match, or how was that entire experience for you?
I It is honestly crazy to look back of. I've told my family when I see the videos and the reels of the goal, I don't have my POV. Like I don't remember what my eyes were seeing. I see what the videos that everyone sees from the telecast or the reels. That's the POV I see. Me scoring and then me running to the corner doing my archery celebration. That is what I see. I don't remember what I see. I see some glimpses, but it's just a bit of a blur. And I can say it is the greatest moment of my life. And I'm just very grateful and blessed about how everything has happened. And it's just been completely surreal.
Well, that's great. That's great. That celebration of you would be probably the pictures of the entire. I mean, if we look at the history of the club, Samaleswari FC, they started playing in I League 2 in 2014 till they played. And from then till now, it has to be the greatest photo, as for me. But yeah, how was the experience like? As one in one of the articles I was reading about you, you've said that a lot of people, there was a communication gap with a lot of people, but football brought you all united. So how was the coach dealing with that, or how was the staff, how were the support staff dealing with that, and how were the players dealing with that, and what is that one thing that brought you all in one single page?
Can you repeat the last bit? I heard most of it. Can you repeat that last bit again?
Yeah. So like, what was that one thing that brought you all to that single page where you all were united?
Yeah, so the coaches, I think it is difficult when there's so many people from all different areas. Um, there's different foreigners, but India is so diverse, and so people, it's like the so many different countries. In America, it's not so much like that. Everyone speaks the same language, and so it's not as diverse, even though it's a much bigger country. India is so diverse from the south to the north to the east to the west. It is so diverse and so different, and so the language barriers is always gonna be there. But I think because we're all speaking mostly about football, we all have that, like you said, it unites us, and we all have a understanding. Even though if we don't know exactly what some person is saying, we can use context clues because it relates to something that we all love and we all know, which is football. But coaches mostly they speak mostly in English or Hindi, and people always are able. There's different groups from different places, and we all help each other out, and I think it helps us to bond as well.
Since you've mentioned that the coach used to speak in English or Hindi, I would like to ask you, how good are your Hindi skills? Like, if you had to rate it from 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
I would say my Hindi skills, that's a tough question. I would say my Hindi, the thing is about my Hindi, I understand Hindi. I watch all Bollywood films. I listen to much more Hindi music than I do any other language by far. Um, and so is my family is also like that. So they are also some people who have had that effect on me. But so I understand Hindi very well. It's just I can speak a little bit, but not great because my grammar gets messed up because I don't have that practice of speaking Hindi. Because whenever I come to Kolkata, আমি তো এখানে শ্যামবাজারে থাকি. I don't get much Hindi practice. So my Bangla is I would say pretty good. I feel confident Bengali because I stay here and I have practice. Hindi, I don't have much practice. So if I had to get it a rating, I'd probably give it maybe like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's come back to your career and your contract, as was mentioned before. Like, was it till Duran Cup, or are you still uh, in the plans for the club? Since we are hearing rumors that Samleshwari SC might enter IFL, so are you in the plans of Samleshwari SC, or has there been any conversation between you both?
Okay. Um, so as of right now, I am a free agent. I do plan on having a conversation with Samaleswari. They're kind of the like you mentioned, working on getting the promotion and getting everything sorted with that. And so right now, I can't say I'm signed with anyone because the truth is I'm a free agent. But we'll see what happens in the next week or two. We'll see what happens.
Okay, hopefully, yeah, we're hopeful to see you back for the Western Odisha side. But since now that you have mentioned you are a free agent as of now, so has there been any Indian side, maybe from ISL, maybe from IFL or I League Two, some sort of leagues that have offered you?
That I will not be able to speak about, unfortunately. I will say that everything should be figured out in a week or two, but we'll see.
Okay, okay, okay. So hopefully we should have our interview posted by then. Editor, this is a warning for you. So since you've mentioned that you are a huge Arsenal fan and you used to love Santi Cazorla, and especially when we talk about him, you would remember that free kick against Hull in 2014. And when you scored that free kick, uh, did you have some sort of glimpses of that free kick and that celebration?
I would say I'm still not at that level of his free kick taking. The one against Hull City is a very good one, and it's a bit more to the side, so it's probably a bit more difficult. But I hope that I will keep practicing my free kicks and one day get to the level of my idol at free kicks.
Since we were talking about the techniques of the free kick, if you have someone who's watching you on how to take free kicks, like imagine you are a coach now, let's imagine that. So how would you recommend someone to take a free kick technically, or like what exactly are the steps to take a good free kick like you?
I would say first need to get a good understanding of where you want to hit it, whether you want to go over the wall, and exactly you need to be very confident and know exactly what kind of technique you want to do. Do you want to knuckleball it? Do you want to get it up and over and dip it? Do you want to curl it like I did? And so I think that would be the first step, having being able to analyze the wall, analyze the keeper, and where you are on the field. I think that is a very important thing. And then from there, I would say when it comes to real striking ab- about the technique, you you a lot of it is about confidence and not worrying too much about, oh, if I miss it or this and that, because in my for my example, not to glaze myself and speak too highly of myself. But in that moment, 82nd minute, I was never thinking about, oh, I need to do this to win the game. I never put that pressure on myself, and I never also thought about missing. And all my teammates, they are very encouraging, and they all after the game were telling me stories about how, oh, on the bench I was telling this person you were gonna score. Everyone's like, oh yeah, we knew you were gonna score, because that's what I would practice them a lot in training. Having that inside confidence is great. But when it comes to striking ability, no matter what technique you are going to hit it with, whether your laces or you're curling it with inside your foot, you have to have a very good follow through. And the one thing that when I watched my video of mine, I focused a lot on my work, the way that I took my steps, and the way that I followed through the shot. That was something that was very important because even I'm curling it, so I'm not getting as much power as if I'm lacing it. But because of my follow through, I generate a decent amount of power. And so the follow through is very important. Landing on your shooting foot and just going your body all the way through it. I think that is something that people don't speak about enough.
Like I wanted to ask you about, does the position of the chest or the shoulders and the weak foot, the where you are implanting your foot, how does it all matter and how does it all contribute to your free kicks?
I think for me, I don't. I know a lot of people speak about their shoulder being raised up and then like rolling it back. I don't. I think it just comes naturally for uh to people. For me, I never have really focused too much on my arm. I don't think I have a Beckham like swing with my left arm or anything like that. But I think obviously the placement of the foot is good. I think you also have to judge. It's different for some people. Some people like to be a little bit further behind. Some people like to be right next to it. Some people like to be a little bit wider, having a bit of more gap between their foot and the ball. So it just, I think it really just depends. I think people have to just go and experiment and find what works best for them. I Because the thing about free kicks is everything is set. You have as much time as you need, and everything is set. It is all about practice and practice and practice. The more reps you do, the higher chance you have at success.
So how many free kicks do you practice in a normal training session?
I would like to do. I don't. It depends on the session. If we do a lot of finishing, then my hip flexors. I don't want to overdo it. But if we have a session where it's a lot of running or a lot of pressing, a lot of tactical stuff, a lot of like small ball touches passing, and I don't do a lot of finishing, I will take a lot more. I never take a certain amount, but I would say maybe in after training I'll maybe take like 20, 25. If if I'm not doing very well, then it would usually be more. But I feel that I'm very accurate, even if I'm not scoring the goal or hitting it right in the corner, I'm hitting at the same place. So whether that's the woodwork, every time I hit the post, I hit it one a half a foot outside the post. I always am hitting in the same area, and so that is also something that gives me confidence because if I'm hitting in the same area 5 times in a row and it's just wide, then I'm like, okay, I need to adjust. I need to tweak the angle of my foot, and then I do that, and then because I'm accurate, after that adjustment, I'll keep scoring, I'll keep scoring. And so being able to analyze what you're doing wrong is a very important thing as well, which also comes in doing reps. The more reps you do, you can experiment and find out what you are doing wrong. And so when you are doing something wrong, you then are like, okay, I'm doing this wrong. How do I adjust it? I adjust it, I fix it. That's a very important thing.
Yeah, I would like to ask you something on your captain, since I've been hearing that your captain was very strict and he's a very serious man. Was it factual? Like, is he a serious man? Is he really strict?
Basit, I will say, is a very nice guy. He, I would say, on the field, yes, he is pretty strict. He will, he's quite demanding. He demands a lot from his team. If you're not giving the effort or you're not doing something right, like he is happy to yell at you and let you know. But as a person, I think he is a very nice. He is very fun. He's a pretty good dancer. And so overall, I think he is a very good vibe. And from when I met him in the beginning, he's a very nice guy, and I get along with him well.
Oh, that's great. Since we are talking about dancers or some funny moments or some funny people from the dressing room, who is the funniest of them all, or who was the funniest of them all in Samaleswari?
I would say my friend Aman Gaikwad, number 25. He is someone that I gelled with really well from. Even though I don't know a lot of my teammates for very long, it's been just over. It was about a couple, just a couple weeks we were all together. But I feel I've made some very close friends, and he is definitely one of them. He is very funny, and when he makes jokes that I don't laugh at, he'll start laughing at his own jokes, and because of his laugh, I will start laughing as well. So he's just a he's I really like him. He's a great vibe.
That's great. Okay, so now that we are moving into our end segment of the podcast of the interview, you have been very keen and you've mentioned that you aspire to play for the Indian side one day. And I wanted to ask you, like, are you in talks with some other OCI or PIO players as well who wants to play for the Indian side? And like, since we are hearing reports that we'll be soon having a sports passport, and that will make OCI and PIO players eligible to play for the Indian side. Like, what are your expectations from that? And as the first question was that, like, are you talking with any of the OCI or PIO players about that?
To be honest, I don't know a lot of the OCI players. I know there are quite a few in England, quite a few in Middle East. I don't know them, and I haven't spoken to any of them. But I have a teammate of mine who I used to play with at Sac Republic. Who his name is Rohan. He's a center back, U.S. born, but he's Indian and I believe has an OCI. But he is Indian, so he should be able to get one. And him and I had a lot of people in our training sessions would joke about like, oh, you two should play for the Indian national team. You guys would be so dominant, but then we'd be like, there are some rules where we right now can are not eligible. But I've not really spoken directly about playing for the Indian national team. Um, with him, we've spoken about it briefly, but I think he is someone who he's a very talented player. He's now playing in college soccer, but he's the only one I know because he was my former teammate.
Mm. But and you said you wanted to represent the Indian side. So, like, if that doesn't happen, if the sports passport thing doesn't happen, so would you still have those hopes that you would represent the Indian side someday, even if it means to give up your American passport?
I think it is a decision that is not mine. It is something about that I would have to discuss with my parents. I think my parents would probably not allow me to give up my U.S. passport. They know the details much more than I do, but I think there are some. It would become a lot more difficult um, for me in the U.S. and if I surrender my U.S. passport. And so, regarding the OCI, the sportsman passport. If they decide to allow it, I think that'll open the doors a lot to OCI players um, who are abroad. But whatever decision they make, I'm sure they have their reasoning for it, and I'm gonna have to respect that. And so it would be great, but it's not in our control, so I don't worry about it too much.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. Before we end, like, I would like to ask you something like, what are your future hopes from Indian football? Like, since you have experienced Indian football, you've played in the ecosystem, and you are a part of it now. What are your suggestions for Indian football? Where could we have some developments, and or what else are we missing here in India?
I think first off, before we get into that question, I will answering that question. I will say Indian fans have so much passion. That is something that we've never lacked in. We see it in the World Cup, where our own nation is not in the World Cup, but there is so much passion for Brazil, Argentina. I see even in Kolkata and Chambaja, where the streets are filled with flags of Argentina and Brazil and Messi and Neymar's faces, and so that is something that we don't lack, and that is a very good thing. That is very big. And I would say I would say something that I would like to I would like to feel people I would like to give people hope that football is going to change in the next couple of years. Um, in India. I hope if they allow OCI players to be considered as domestic players or allowed in the national team, that would hopefully help. But even if that doesn't happen, I hope that people can see me being an Indian, and I hope that I have a great career, especially in India, and giving young players hope that they can also become professional footballers. I think one thing that would be great would be more infrastructure. It is a bit difficult unless you are a professional footballer and playing with top quality teams. It is hard to just go out and go train on good quality fields. I find it difficult uh, right now to find public fields that are at a high quality, and I think for grassroots that would be very important if we can just have just a few here and there where there are some nice good quality grounds that people can bring in. I think it would be great for community, not just for making professional footballers, but to bring so many people together, because we've seen how much passion the nation has for football. And so bringing people to sports is not just um, about the top leagues, championships, on all that stuff. It is also about players, people who just enjoy playing, and it bringing and uniting people all together. And I think that is a very nice thing that could happen.
Yeah, that's great to be honest. Really nice to have that feedback from you. But also, before we go, one last question. Since you are an Arsenal fan, and I just wanted to know that how was it winning the Premier League after a long time?
It was It was amazing. I felt so happy, not only because we won, but because so many of my friends who are not Arsenal fans, they bothered me so much. We had a group chat of just the players at my old team, Sac Republic, of our academy team, and the group chat was made. And every time there was a message, 99% of the time, it was about Arsenal losing or Arsenal bottling the Premier League or this and that, and it was so frustrating. I would see so many. They're sending GIFs and all these Instagram posts and all these Instagram reels about Arsenal losing or this, that, and they would make me just so infuriated inside. And so the fact that we were able to win and that we're gonna do it again this season, make and go back to back as Premier League champions, it is a great feeling, and it's gonna become even better when we win again in May. Know the details of.
We take the bite from here as well from this part because since you have summed it up, and it was great having you, V. Have a nice day, and we hope that you enjoyed.
Thank you. I would say that you did very well and you asked some great questions, and I'm glad.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and that was the interview with Veer Joshi, the sensational star from Samaleswari SC, and you were watching Desi Dribblers.